Hello, friends. Welcome again to another Tune Tuesday. I'm your host, Tom Kaz, and we are taking you down the road of 500 of the greatest hits of all times. Survey done by Rolling Stones magazine. And this is our number 4th edition of this program. We're going to kick it off with the first song, which sits in the 470 position by Gladys Knight and the Pips. Midnight Train to Georgia from 1973. Well, songwriter Jim Weatherly originally composed this as Midnight Plane to Houston, if you could believe that, only to change it for Chrissy Houston, Whitney's mom, to something more R&B in order for it to get into black radio. Weatherly had already penned Neither One of Us, Knight and the Pips' number 2 hit. When they heard Midnight Train, they took it to the top. I really never imagined writing R&B songs, Weatherly admitted. I really thought I was writing for a country song. It reflected the times, and in the 70s, were the decade since World War II in which more African Americans were moving south than leaving it. All right. Here it is. Picking up our 470 position of the 500 greatest songs of all time. Cheers to you, my friends. I hope you're well. Hope you're having a good, I guess we're getting close to fall, aren't we? As far as the calendar is concerned. It's not officially fall yet, but we're getting there. I'm actually going to be out of town on a camping trip with my girlfriend, Kathy. When you're listening to this, I want to be near the Dells and a park. We're going to be camping out for about 4 nights and doing some hiking up in the hills there around the Dells, Baraboo, Wisconsin. Anyway, that was 470, 469. You'll know this song by the Dixie Chicks. It's called Goodbye, Earl. It was written in the year 2000. A murder ballad with a modern feminist twist. This jaunty song about poisoning an abusive husband spawned disparate reactions. Some stations banned it, apparently concerned that it would spawn a rash of hubby offings, I should say. Others shared the number for domestic abuse hotlines. When the Naval reps listened to the Chicks' Fly album, though they were more concerned with another song, Sin Wagon, with its reference to mattress dancing. You can't say that. Natalie Maines recalled her manager's relayed message from the execs, but they love the song about a premeditated first-degree murder. Okay, here's the Dixie Chicks singing their song. Yeah, of course, this one was very, very popular with the ladies, kind of telling their boyfriends and hubbies, you be careful out there. Might just give you some sweet tea, put you away, you know. Dixie Chicks and Goodbye Earl. Had to let that play through at least till we heard Earl didn't make it, if you know what I mean. Anyway, that was our song by the Dixie Chicks, rated 469. Next one up by Mazzy Star, position 468. Song called Fade Into You from 1993. Singer Hope Scandival and guitarist David Roback, the prime movers behind Mazzy Star, were active in the 1980s neo-psychedelic Paisley underground scene in Los Angeles. After Scandival replaced singer Kendra Smith in the band Opal, David Roback and Scandival reconstituted the band under the name Mazzy Star. Their second album yielded Space Out hit, perhaps dream pop's ultimate statement of blurry desire. We're not so concerned about the outside world, said Roback. Each song is its own world unto itself. All right, Mazzy Star. 1993. Take it, Maisie. Maisie Starr, back in 1993. Oh, wait a minute. Fade Into You is the name of that song. That's right. Maisie Starr comes in our position 468. I was waiting for the chorus on that one. It seems to stay with a consistent sound. But that's it. This one should be a bit different on our 467 position. Nirvana. Come As You Are. It's just about people and what they're expected to act like, said Kurt Cobain. The lines in the song are really contradictory. You're kind of a rebuttal to each other. The song is driven by a simple riff that Bush Vig goosed with flanged subaquatic guitar effect. Cobain apparently lifted it from a 1984 song by UK art metal band Killing Joke, who Dave Grohl paid back 12 years later by drumming in their 2003 album. In the wake of Cobain's suicide, though, most haunting lyric would become, "And I swear that I don't have a gun." Here's Kurt Cobain in Nirvana. Come As You Are.
Friend
Cobain and Nirvana, Come As You Are. My daughter's really into that group back in that time period. I do remember that. So that's our 467 position. Next one. Oh, very smooth song. 466 by Luther Vandross. The song is called Never Too Much. The 80s major R&B balladeer's solo debut was financed in part from money he made singing jingles for KFC and 7-Up. Vandross had been pushed to his own thing by Roberta Flack, from whom he sung background. Said Vandross, he said, "Luther, you're too comfortable sitting on that stool, singing oohs and ahs. Roberta was single-handedly responsible for me starting my own career," he said. What pushed her was hearing the demo of Never Too Much, one of the most buoyant love songs of the 80s, with Vandross, high notes as delicate as soapy bubbles. Take it away, Luther. So yeah, he's got this smooth voice. I would have sung it, I know the song, but man, he hits those beautiful highs that I can't quite accomplish. So I wanted to let him do it. The only true way to do it. Luther Vandross. Very cool. Never Too Much. All right. Moving on to our 465 position now. Is Daft Punk featuring Pharrell Williams. And the song is called Get Lucky. When Pharrell Williams volunteered to appear on Daft Punk's fourth album, he told them that he'd been thinking about a Chic legend, Nile Rodgers, musically, fortuitously. The French dance producers could play him a track that they had on hand that they'd made with Rodgers himself. The result was Get Lucky, which as a lead single from their disco-flavored album, Random Access Memories, rose like a phoenix to become the song that defined that year I think the Robots are leading, Williams told Rolling Stones. Daft Punk, they're definitely leading. All right, Pharrell Williams. Get lucky.
Legend of the Phoenix all ends with beginnings. What keeps the planet spinning? The force from the beginning. We've come too far to give up who we are. So let's raise the bar and to the stars. She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun. I'm up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to the sun. We're up all night to get some. We're up all night for good fun. We're up all night to get lucky. 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 We're up all night to get lucky.
Pharrell Williams, Get Lucky. Our 465 position from the countdown. Thanks for tuning in to Tune Tuesday, by the way. I appreciate your patronage, I guess you might say. I appreciate you listening. You know, there's a lot of friends out there. Hello, good to see you again. Hope to see you out there. Kurt Landis and me do some gigs around town, so keep an eye out for us. We could pop up. I'll let you know here on the channel if we do. Appreciate you coming in, though. Let's go down to our 464 position, and that's Joni Mitchell. Took a look at this one to see if I could sing it, and decided not to do it. And the song is called Help Me, written in 1974. Joni actually wrote this song herself. Mitchell's 1974 album, Kurt and Spark, her biggest selling ever, was also the one that she held the tightest amount of musical control over to date. I guided everything into place on Kurt and Spark. Even though I didn't play it, I sang it. And they played it from that, and it was pretty much as I read. That's what she said. Her next album, Hissing in the Summer Lawns, was a loser and more jazz-oriented. Help Me, recorded with a jazz group, Tom Scott's LA Express, features one of Mitchell's sultruous vocals and most brocaded arrangements, inspiring Prince 13 years later to play the song lyrically tribute to the Ballad of Dorothy Parker. All right, take it away, Joni. So it's a beautiful song. And like I say, I tried to look at doing it an octave lower, but didn't work for me. So we'll stick with Joni singing it.
Help me, I think I'm falling in love again. When I get that crazy feeling, I know I'm in trouble again. I'm in trouble, 'cause you're a river and a giver and a sweet talking ladies man. And you're loving.
Sounded great, Joni. Thank you. Does a great job. So this one I'm going to sing. So I got two that I'm going to sing as we wrap up here. This one here is kind of fun to do. From 1962. Let's tell you a little bit about it. It's called Boom Boom by John Lee Hooker. Hooker's whose Kenny Blues Boogie became a root integer for early rock and roll, said his swinging, staggering bit of primal trump was inspired by his inability to get into a regular gig on time. There was this young lady named Lula, Hooker said. She was a bartender at the Apex Bar in Detroit. And I'd always be late. And whenever I'd come in, she'd point at me and say, "Boom, boom, you're late again." One night she said, "Boom, boom, I'm going to shoot you down." She gave me a song, but she didn't know it. Keith Richards said of Hooker, even Muddy Waters was sophisticated next to him, and that was a compliment. Here it is. Boom, 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 boom. Gonna shoot you right down, right off your feet. Take you home with me, put you in my house. Boom, 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 boom. Ha, 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 ha. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Look, see you strut up and down the floor. You're talking to me that baby talk. Oh, we like it like that. Oh, yeah. Talk and walk. Talk and walk. Like that. Oh, like that. Like that. Oh, yeah. Watch you walk, and talk that talk. Whisper in my ear, tell me what I love to hear. I love that talk. When you talk like that, knock me out, right on my feet. Oh, 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 oh. When you talk. Walk. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. How about that one? Johnny Lee Hooker from our 463 position. Thank you. At least he gave me one I could sing, huh? All right. We got two songs left. This next one in the position of .462. We've got Van Morrison, a song called Into the Mystic, written in 1970. delectably arranged, transportingly sung. This may be the definitive Morrison song, an evocation of the days of old. It feels like a lover's whisper. The highlight of the 1970s classic Moondance, Into the Mystic, benefited from the new, more organic way of recording for him. It was more like working with an actual band rather than a bunch of session guys, Morrison said. As for the lyrics, he admits, so many of my songs from the 70s period, I haven't a clue what they're about. A lot of time, I was just picking up on a vibe. All right, Van Morrison, Into the Mystic.
We were born before the wind, also younger than the sun. And the bonnie boat was one as we sailed into the mystic. Oh, I can now hear the sailors cry, smell the sea and feel the sky. Let your soul and spirit fly into the mystic. And when that foghorn blows, I will be coming home. Yeah, when the foghorn blows, I wanna hear it. I don't have to fear it. I just so, just like way back in the days of old. Yeah, magnificently we will fold into the mystic.
All right. Van Morrison, Into the Mystic. Coming up on our last song here on Tuesday. Thanks again for stopping in. If you get a chance on my YouTube channel, give me a thumbs up. Like the channel. Share it with someone else. Appreciate you tuning in. I do put a little tip jar down there. Sometimes I remember it. If you'd like to give me a tip, I'd appreciate it. Put it to good use. Our last song in the 461 position by a noted artist everyone will know, Roy Orbison. The song is called Crying, from 1962. Orbison said he wrote a lush, dreamy ballad after an encounter with an old flame. Whether I was physically crying or just crying inside, it's all the same thing. His near operatic performance culminated in high wailing note, which Orbison never lost capacity to hit before his death in 1988. He sounded like he was singing from an Olympian mountaintop, and he meant business. Bob Dylan wrote in the Chronicles, he was now singing in his compositions in 3 or 4 octaves. Amazing. That made you want to drive your car off a cliff. He sang like a professional criminal. Anyway, that's what Bob Dylan said about it. Here's our last song by Roy Orbison. I'm going to sing this one. That last note is a tough one, but hey, it's fun. Hope you enjoy it. The song is called Crying, 1962. I was alright for a while. I could smile for a while. Then I saw you last night. I held your hand so tight when you stopped to say hello. I wished you well. You couldn't tell that I'd been crying over you, crying over you. You said so long and left me standing all alone, alone and crying, 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 crying. It's hard to understand, but the touch of your hand can stop me crying. I thought that I was over you, but it's true, so true. I love you even more than I did before. But darling, what can I do? 'Cause you don't love me, and I'll always be crying over you, crying over you. Yes, now you're gone. From this moment on, I'll be crying, 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 All right. Roy Orbison, Crying. Thanks for tuning in again to Tune Tuesday. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you next week, and I will be in the hills walking. We'll probably wind up walking about 40 miles by the time we're done. Kathy and I like to get out there and hike. So you have a good week. We'll see ya. Bye-bye. Kaz out.